position. 021, hold position. 021, hold position. 105, hold position. 105, hold position.
You can jump on there with them.
Position. 105, hold position.
Request refueling.
021, hold position.
Request
Copy.
rearming.
021, hold position. Copy. 021, hold position. 021, hold position. Refueling complete. 021, hold position. 021, hold position. 021, hold position. 021, hold position. 021, hold position.
Flight controls.
021,
Flight controls.
hold position. 021, hold position. 105, hold position. 105, rearming complete. Hold position. 105, hold position. 021, hold position. 105, hold position. 105, hold position. 105, hold position.
Request rearming.
105, hold position. Copy. 105, hold position. 105, hold position.
Shadow, can you come up 324.7?
105,
Roger.
105, hold position. 105, hold position. 105, hold position. 105, hold position. Rearming complete.
Right-hand turn, taxi, launch Cat 2. Cat 2. Chief, place the wheel chocks.
Copy. Wheel chocks are now in place.
You guys hear them talking on SRS?
Boss 105
Are you
is
in the
responding
main
to
screen?
reset.
I did when I was at the spectator.
Alright, 105, I appreciate it. We're trying to figure this out.
It was super loud to me.
It ain't me, trust me, I'm not telling the crew to...
Hey guys,
Unless you guys
I just talked to Express.
No,
We have
I've been impressed so far.
Cats. Something's going
Hey
on
boss,
with
that's the
Fist.
same for all the 100s.
Apparently, every time they
and
move
despawn
a
and
cat,
respawn.
they block the cat. So the deck right now is like full, and until the Fist is out of the boat, we won't be able to.
Yeah, alright. I would say all Tomcats probably need to do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Vazian knows then, huh?
Looks like they're
Hey,
moving out
203.
now. We can just give it a couple minutes and then spawn in. I'm on the deck right
Are you able to launch right there?
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's good.
Cat 3 is
I
taking me.
think Espresso was kind of
Yeah.
stressed.
Let's
Yeah,
not spawn
I see
in
that now.
I'm already in here, but I'll let you know
Um,
when to come in.
Go ahead and take it. Thanks for getting clearance to move it.
Thank you, Tim.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. I was just trying to see if it was going to tell me the whole position. I wasn't trying to go ahead of you.
Yeah, Espresso was not happy with the Fist.
Yeah, he's got a lot of...
Alright,
he's
Hornets on the
little
elevators, Hornets on the elevators. If you guys can, I need you guys to clear the elevators, get the Tomcats back in. So, L2, take position 1 on the 6-pack. L1, take position 2 on the 6-pack. Elevator 3, Hornets, you guys are going to move to the fantail. whenever the squadron or you guys are ready to launch, let me know and I'll try to get you guys off the deck.
Boss, 203, good attention, Cat 3.
Hey, 203, you're clear to launch, Cat 3.
203 launching. Reporting.
Hornet in the 6-pack, I need you to face the right way.
Who was on elevator 3 with me?
I just was, or
Okay.
I am.
Did you hear him
Boss
on,
105
Boss?
is elevator port side.
No, I just got on. Do I need to
Taxi,
move?
Cat
Yeah,
3
he
for
said
the
you
shot.
got Fantail.
Cleared,
Alright,
taxi,
I'm
Cat
just
3 launch.
rearming. I'll move right now, or as soon as it's done.
And boss, I'm being directed by Squadron to lead the server to come back. I'll be back. Okay.
I think numbers, you're good to come back to the Fantail if you want. So for the guy on the right.
Boss, you ready to launch?
Cat 303 you can if you need.
If you need to load up, go ahead, but if you're ready to launch, I can taxi you to Cat 2.
I'm gonna delay if possible. If you need me to launch, I can go though.
Nope, just making sure. Just trying to get people off the deck if they're ready.
Coming in yet?
Yeah, let's wait until they get the Tomcats off.
Didn't know we had hot starts. If I was in CV and I move it to IFA after it started, will it fix or do I need to respawn?
After a amount of time, it will. But
Okay.
we just need to clear the cats as soon as you can, man. Or
Yeah.
the
so
elevator.
I don't know if I'm.
Alright, boss, 201, we're on L1, we're up and ready. Alright, 201, go ahead and, I'll stand by. That wasn't you that just spawned in, right?
101 also just spawned in.
Alright, so that's a negative for 201. I'm on L1, Wingman's on L3, and we'll like to take off together when we get a spot. Okay, I'll put you on Cat 1 as soon as it's cleared. 204, you're clear to taxi and launch Cat 3.
Clear taxi and launch Cat 3 204.
Yeah, guys, it looks like for our airspace, let's be south and west of the carrier.
Copy. Gonna have 4 cats on the deck right now for you guys who haven't spawned in yet.
Right back.
Boss 105, spots Cat 1 hooked up. Like to stay here, just see if the cat will stay working. or you just stand there?
No, I'll launch once I get loaded. With your permission, of course.
Damn it. Alright, yeah, just go ahead. You got cats waiting, or other Tomcats waiting behind you, so if you can, hurry up. Hey, 201, if you want, go ahead and take Cat 2.
201, looks like he's ready to go. I'd rather just stick with the plan.
Alright, Tomcat in the 6-pack, are you ready to go?
Negative. Still rearming.
Boss 105, Cat 1, ready to go with your permission.
And 105 salute.
105, salute.
Alright, 101, the 6-pack, ready to go.
And 101 cleared taxi and launch Cat 2.
Okay, 101's heading over Cat 2.
Be advised, you got 201, it's going to be to your 4 o'clock. He's coming off L1, taxiing and launching Cat 1.
Yeah.
Got him.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, right. Boss 105, arcing and switching. Zip.
105, boss, got you, push tower.
Okay, we'll just switch tower once you launch.
And 300 series, boss, you guys set?
300 up and ready.
And 300, clear taxi, launch Cat 1.
300 taxi, got
304, you set?
304,
Alright, 304, you're clear taxi, launch Cat 3.
304 for 3, thanks.
314, set? set. You're clear. You'll be number 2 on Cat 2.
Number 2, Cat 2.
Okay, man says my flight is delayed to start, so
313, you set?
I'll wait here.
313 set.
313, you're going to be number 2 for Cat 3.
2 on Cat 3.
Plate lead 2 checking in. 3,
Cat's
1,
1 clear.
5,
I'm on Cat 1. I'm going to launch and I'll meet you at 12.
315 set.
Alright, 315. You're clear to taxi. You'll be parking number 2 for Cat 2.
2 for 2.
Boss 106.
Yeah, 106, boss, where you at?
Elevator 1, ready to go. Where you want me?
Alright, I'm going to have you park the 6-pack as soon as you can get clear. If you can make it now, go ahead and taxi park 6-pack. You have a Hornet to your 10 o'clock that's parking in Cat 2.
Tally and rolling.
300 Cat 1 under attention, switching tower.
Salute.
Tower 101's arcing.
Cat 2 under tension, switching tower.
Be able to get spawned, Wonka?
Yeah, I just did.
Hey, Wonka, I'm ready, man, whatever you want to do. Are you gonna join me when you're done flying, or are you just gonna hang out?
Yeah, I'm gonna join you when I'm done flying.
Okay, I'll be ready for you.
Thank you.
Hey, sorry guys, getting you guys off the boat. There's just a lot of shit going on with DC.
We hate you for it.
I know. I feel like an asshole, but it's not the Tomcat's fault, I promise you. It's actually Hornet's fault.
Radio check mids.
Gotcha.
Hey, I got you too.
I got him first.
Yeah, but I got him last.
Does anybody know how to turn off this intelligence report crap?
Sloppy seconds.
Oh man, that's gonna fuck us all the time.
10-4. 315, select Cat 2.
Hey, if you want to get rid of that intelligence report, if it's not gone yet, just go in the F10 menu and the other, and like remove something that's not going right now. Should clear it out at least.
Boss 303, elevator 1 ready for taxi.
3, Cat 3.
303 is on elevator 1 ready to taxi.
I think you're on Discord. I'm not sure if you're on us, Rose. Crazy day, huh?
Yeah, I've never done this before, and I think I just messed up my call.
Don't sweat it, dude.
So when I talk to the boss, I tell him who I am and where I am.
Yep, every call is the same. Who I am, where I am, what I want.
Oh, he was ignoring me because he was on the phone.
Nice.
Next recovery window 1030 local.
Boss 303 on Cat 2, it's not recognizing me. I'm waiting to see if it clears itself after this Tomcat launches.
Sounds on Discord.
It picked me up.
Yeah, Zach, you're a hot mic Discord.
Tower 106 on 3, ready to go.
And 106, you're clear sleep.
Tower, this 106, you're stepped.
Yeah, 106, you're clear launch.
106, see ya.
What cat did you get?
Up on the cat. What is my next move?
I'm just telling me you're ready to launch.
I I gotta get off the boss channel and go onto the tower channel?
Nah, you just tell boss that you want to. Alright, so you're under tension?
Yeah.
Yeah, just tell him you're ready to launch on whatever cat you're on.
Did you guys hear that call out on guard? Anybody on Tower Free?
A-firm 1030 recovery.
Alright, thank you. Just want to make sure I got it out to everybody that was even going. Yeah, bullet flight, copies. Alright, 2 has made it off the boat. Where am I going?
Sweet. So you're going to do that case 1 departure, go out 7 miles at 300 knots, 500 feet, and then start a left-hand turn.
And 99 Tower, Rolex, next recovery's 1100. Say again, 1100 next recovery window. And both flight copies 1100.
And then let me know if your data link is on.
Data link is now on.
Sweet. Okay, so have you done a join up and high holding yet?
You know, I did some stuff on Thursday with those guys, but a lot of it just didn't stick because we did so much stuff.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. The thing is, like, we have to keep doing it all, because, like, that's the only way. Like, I know how to learn it. It's just keep beating myself up over it. Alright, so, did you hit 7 miles yet?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, just go make that left-hand turn, and then try and keep your speed up, so it's actually better to stay low. Get to like 450 on the knots, and then start your climb, keeping the boat at your 9 o'clock until you're at 12,000 feet. What's your altitude right now?
600 feet.
Sweet.
Alright, starting the climb now.
Yeah, so when I do that, I'm kind of hawking the HSI. I'm looking at that TACAN symbol, keeping it at my 9, and then just pulling the nose back. If you get pretty quick, you can pull the nose back up to like 30 degrees and just fly the arc around the TACAN, and then you're looking for about 10 miles from the boat at 12,000 feet.
Alright, I think I did not set up my TACAN. It's probably a mistake that I made. Is it 72?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I'm like 19 miles away, but I have it at my 9 o'clock now.
Okay, I'm gonna come to you, okay? Alright, so what's your heading to the boat?
So, say again?
I'm gonna come to you. Alright, so what's your heading to the ship, to the TACAN?
That is a good question. I think it is 079.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so on the upper left-hand corner of your HSI, you're gonna see LNC.
I do, yes.
All right, perfect. So just start heading towards the ship at 12,000.
Nickel 2 is taking approximate 270 radial.
Okay, copy that. Heading towards the ship. I'm at 12,000 now.
Did everyone copy that the recovery time will be 1100?
Nickel 2, copy.
Alright, sweet. So on the data link, if you head towards the ship, you should see me coming at you. Yeah, I should be like the only one coming straight for you.
Well, I see 3 coming towards me.
Yeah, just as I said that, I looked down and I was like, oh crap. Alright, so I got you 15 miles out. We're closing pretty quick, so just keep this heading and then I'll give you a turn to your left out to 210 and we'll get joined up.
2 copies.
It's a lot to learn. What we need to do is just like get on to do that one thing. But like the other 18 squadron that worked the catapult, so that's why they were all screwed up and logged in. Alright, you can start your turn now. It's left-hand turn out to 210.
Copy, turning 210.
Okay, so as you turn here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to demo a join up on you while you're holding that turn.
What kind of airspeed do you want me at?
You tell me. Anywhere between 250 and 300 will work.
Okay, I'm going like 350 right now, but I'll slow it down.
Yeah, perfect. And then just keep that angle of bank in, let the knots fall off, and then I'm going to join from your left side.
Alright, rolling level at 210.
Okay, just give me like an easy left-hand turn, maybe like 25, 30 degrees, and then just hold it, and then hold that speed.
I got eyes on you.
Okay, sweet. So this is, I'm just going to demo this join up on you. So let's say you're in high holding, you're up there, and you get that lazy left-hand turn. You're just going to call out your speed, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get inside your circle, inside your, inside of your turning radius. I'm going to catch the bearing, and then I'm going to slide up into position on your left side. So if I point my nose way out in front of you like it is right now, what I will do is I won't have to use a lot of power to catch up to you. Because if I fall behind you and I'm like chasing you from your 6, the only thing I can do is just put power in to catch up to you. But if I can get out here and kind of get out in front of you, put my nose out in front of you, I'm just going to use the radius of turn to slide in on the bearing. I'll actually use less power than what you're using. Alright, so we'll do a couple of these here. While I'm here, I'm just going to demo a couple of things. So, Right here is kind of where I want to be. Like this is like pretty close cruise. And what this does for me is it lets me see like your aircraft in a better plane view than if I was at your 6. So if we're flying around in cruise, I can better assess any movements that you make. So go ahead and roll out. So you roll out, and I'm just going to slide around here. Stay on the bearing, and if if I'm doing a right-hand turn, I'm making like a nose-up maneuver to stay on this plane. If you come towards me, so let's start a left-hand turn. The first thing I'm going to do is match your wings, all right, and push the nose down to stay underneath you. And then now I'm just adjusting the throttle to stay in position. Go ahead and level your wings again. And when you level out, I just pull the nose up, stay on the bearing, and then I'm just moving the throttle back and forth to stay on the bearing. Alright, so if I move in here closer to parade, I'm going to start using the wingtip in your head. And if you'll notice, it kind of puts me below you. So staying below you is real important for a couple of reasons. So if you were to turn left again, so start that left-hand turn, push the nose down, I matched your roll, I'm never going to lose sight of you. But roll out again. But if I were to be high on you, or even level up here, and you start that left-hand turn again, and I match my wings, I can lose sight of you by staying up here. I can put aircraft in between you and my eyeballs. So you always want to stay low, and like a good reference is that wingtip, or if they're further away, then just make sure they're above the horizon as you're looking at them. Alright, another benefit for staying below you is if I'm joining on you, I'm going to slide in on the bearing here, and let's say I have too much closure. If I stayed lower than you, I can do what's called an underrun. Maybe I don't realize I've got too much closure, all I got to do is slide out underneath you, shoot out the other side, and not hit you.
Right on, that makes sense.
Alright, so the easiest way to change the formation from going parade to cruise to like combat cruise is just to make a turn out to this way, right? Not make a huge big power change, and keep the airspeed on, and then I would turn back to the original heading that you were on, and now I've got that space that I want. And then now out here, now it's when he's going to tell you the airspeed, altitude, heading they're going to fly, and I'm just going to fly that and stay in position. So we really only fly parade, like Iris said, when we're in Towers airspace, when we're doing recovery, and that's because we want to turn multiple aircraft into one plane, and that way we can cycle more aircraft in and get them landed a lot quicker. So you can bring a whole division in, get them on the deck a lot faster that way. Cruise is good. I want to see you, I want to fly close to you, get to where we're going, and I don't really need to do anything else in the cockpit. I can still like push some buttons, but I don't need to do a lot. Like if I have to do the radar stuff or like the T-pod, then I don't want to really be here. So a general rule of thumb is once you fence in, now we're going to get more separation. I'm going to come out here, and then I'm going to get away from you, and I can be heads down a lot more and just fly the instruments.
That makes sense.
Alright, so next thing we'll do is just go do a quick join up here. So I'm going to come to the right. Let's fly out to, let's say, like a 200, and I'm going to try and have you join up on, actually just stay in trail where you are, so let's come to the right, 200. Let's see if I can set this up and I screwed up. Sweet. So you got like a mile, a little over a mile behind me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to slow to 300 and start a left-hand turn, and you're going to join on me just like I joined on you before, okay?
Copy that.
All right, coming left. So you want to put your nose like way out to basically intercept me. Put it way out to the left of me. Almost like try and put me behind your canopy boat.
Okay, like way out then.
Yeah, way out. You're trying to intercept me like way out there at like your 11 o'clock. There you go. And then, so there's a little ditty that helps me kind of wrap my head around this. It's the ABCs of form. So the first A is altitude. And that's that step down we talked about. You want to be just like 100 feet below me as you slide into me. Because right now if you turn left, right, it's a little bit harder for you to see me. So, yeah, just get a little bit below me. And I can tell because if you're, on the horizon, we're basically level. And then now just put a little bit more power in and try and catch that bearing from, my cockpit through my wingtip. And you're going to line those up. And that's how you know you're on the bearing. There you go, looking real good. Oh, it's perfect. So if you're doing it right, imagine like there's a spot or a bug on your windscreen. Like you want to keep me on that spot as when you slide into my wing.
Yeah, so I fell behind a little bit there. I think I needed to tighten my turn sooner.
Perfect. You got it, dude. So you recognize that it's your turn, not necessarily the power.
Right, yeah, because like you said, I want to keep my speed very similar to what your speed is.
Yep. Money. That's perfect, dude. So from there, you can either take up that position or just slide under me. So just go ahead and do an underrun and then pop out the other side. Alright, now we'll do some of those same maneuvers I was doing when I was your wing. So, you're looking real good out there. You're on the bearing. You've climbed, right, to stay in plane with me. I'm going to roll out here, and you'll notice that it requires you to push the nose down, right, to stay on, on that bearing. And then you're going to also recognize that there's a power change. So because you're out there on the end, outside the circle, right, you've got to also pull the power out as we roll out.
Right.
And those two things will be really instinctive. You're on the inside, nose up and down, and then pull the power out. The same thing on the outside. But it's best to like anticipate it, and that's why we give you like a coming right, coming left. That way you can get those inputs in. All right, so one more on the outside as the wingman. So If you're flying through like clouds, like we're gonna punch through a layer and we're in a turn, you definitely want to be stuck on that bearing. But when we're down, let's say we're like low holding at the boat or whatever, you don't have to climb. You can just stay level with me.
99 Hornets, 99 Hornets tower. Upon ascending the airspace, go to your assigned squadron altitudes. Break. There is a Hornet declaring emergency. Break. 401 tower.
Alright, so you can just stay in where you are
401
on
standby.
my belly. So you can come a little bit closer. It's just easier to fly it in like parade.
And 401, go ahead. We're just coming over the emergency aircraft, just coming over the boat.
Alright, you can go up COM 1, button 16. Stay off of that nonsense if you're at button 2.
Alright, I switched COM 1 to 16.
Sweet. Alright, I'm going to turn left. Don't climb this time, but just stay under my belly and you'll see the difference. It's a little different, but it's a little easier to manage when you're in parade and you're just in a constant left-hand turn. So what you should see is like, yeah, you're looking straight through me and I'm on the horizon. And you're basically looking at my belly there.
I kind of crept up naturally, it seems.
Yeah, it's going to happen. The benefit here is when we're coming into initial and we're going to roll out into parade for the break, if you're up high up there, you've got more inputs to make to be back into parade. So I'm going to roll out here, and then now you've got to get that descent in to stay down there. But if you stay on my belly, all you got to do is roll out, and you don't have to make an altitude change.
Great.
Alright, we'll do one more turn to the right here, and then if you're on the inside of the turn though, you have to descend. You've got to stay on that plane as I come around right. Alright, coming right. Yeah, you got it, dude. Easy day, alright, rolling out. Alright, I hope I explained that. Does all that stuff make sense so far?
Oh yeah, I understand the concepts. This is going to be a repetition to get it down.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely like a different skill, right? Like the psychomotor skill that takes time and practice. But the good thing is we're going to do it every time we're at the boat. We're going to do it at the tanker. Every time you're flying, so you're going to get a lot of practice. But it makes everything else that we do significantly easier. Alright, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come around to the left. We're going to come out 180. What I want you to do through this turn is just drift through my 6 as we make this turn, and then try not to make any big power inputs as we go through the turn. So as we roll out 180, you're going to end up on the left side of me.
Okay, copy that.
Alright, coming left. Keep going out there to the left side to get up on that bearing and then roll out here 180. Alright, rolling out.
I had a couple of weird things happen there. My left wing just suddenly dipped twice there.
Yep, that's what will happen if you catch my turbulence. It'll basically, as the air is vortexing off my wingtip, it's basically going to try and flip you. let you pass me on the left, and we'll do a loop change. You just hold what you got for airspeed and altitude, and then I'm gonna cross under you and kind of show you what it looks like.
All right, 2's got lead.
All right, you have the lead on the left. All right, so here I am, kind of like in a tight cruise here. If I'm gonna cross under, I'm just gonna get a little bit lower, put a little power in, and then slide underneath you. I'm well underneath you. Pop up the other side. I'm gonna come back up to the bearing from the bottom. Okay, so let's say we're doing a turn out to 270. So go ahead and start a left-hand turn, and I'm going to cross under you through the turn and join on your and end up on your right side.
All right, left-hand turn to 270. It's a pretty long turn, but okay.
Sorry, right-hand turn.
Okay, right-hand turn 270.
All right, so I match my wings. I'm not going to make a big power change. And then as you turn, I'm just going to start eking in underneath you. And you kind of time it so that way, like halfway through the turn, you're at the 6 o'clock, and just keep that turn in. So we're doing it when we're pretty close together, just to kind of make it easier to demo it. But imagine if we were like a mile or two apart from each other. You can kind of see how it would work. But it's exactly the same. The end result is I'm not making big power changes, and we're still flying together in the same spacing. You can do that a lot when you're flying as a section. Let's say you're doing strike or you're doing something where you're making a lot of turns. Instead of just always trying to stay on one side, you can just flow back and forth, and it reduces the workload.
Right, that makes sense.
All right, you want to do some tack form here?
Sure.
Okay, so I'll just do a couple from the wingman position, and then it'll be a little easier. So. First thing we'll do is one of those delayed turns, so we'll call it a tack left. So we're flowing 270, and we're going to turn left for 180. Try not to screw up left and right anymore. Left for 180. I'm going to start the turn, and then as I point towards you, you're going to start that same turn. So mill power, roll your wings over, and you're just going to keep the pipper on the horizon and pull so you get the same airspeed through the turn.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
2's ready.
Okay, so it's tack left 180.
Oh, you want me to call it?
I can call it if you want to call it.
I guess normally the lead would call it, right?
Yeah, it's up to you if you want to do it now. We're just kind of demoing it.
Tack left 180.
2. How'd that work out?
Oh, I didn't key my mic. Yeah, I'd say not bad. You were a little bit further ahead than you started.
Yep, that's fine. As the wingman, I'm just going to back the power out a little bit, let you eat back up. The hard part with that one is we were already really slow, and we're down here at a low altitude, so you can gain speed a little quicker. But you're really just going mill power, and you really got to pull the nose to prevent yourself from getting fast and keep the speed where it is.
Yeah.
All right, let's try one more. You can call it. We'll go to the right to 270.
Tack tack right 270.
That's pretty good. Alright, so right now I got you a mile spread here. We'll do another one. I'll take the lead this time. So be tack left 150.
Alright, was that the call or are you going to call it?
That's it. So flight tack left 150.
2. I turned the wrong way.
No, it's okay. You turn the right way, but the guy on the outside turns first.
Oh, that's why I was confused. Yeah, I messed that one up.
Yeah, no worries. Alright, go ahead and roll out. Alright, so let's say we did want to go 150 and we're right here. We can just do a hook. So flight hook left 150.
2.
And now we're sensor spread again. So we're beam each other. We're going the direction that we want to go. Okay, let's do a tack right. So flight tack right 210.
2.
Very nice. So now you can see if we want to beam each other and we want to go do a 2v1 against a single adversary, this is the best way to get both of our noses pointed towards the adversary in the position that we want. And then let's say we get there going this way, we've got our adversary set up, maybe it's a 2v2 or whatever, and they're maneuvering. The check is to get both of us pointed with small degrees in any change. So it would be like flight check right 250.
2. So on that one, we don't change speed. We just try to maintain.
Yeah, you don't necessarily have to go mil power. If you're doing like a 5-10 degree heading change, you can easily just snap your nose over there without making any power changes. Alright, so let's say we want to keep going this direction, but we want to reduce this distance in between us. We can do a pinch maneuver. So right now our reference heading is 250. And what's your speed?
Current speed is 359.
Okay, alright, so we'll keep that. What we'll do is we'll do a pinch. So we're just going to turn 20 degrees towards each other, maintain your speed and altitude, and then we'll call a resume, and then resume the base heading, which was 250. Alright, so flight pinch.
2.
Alright, so I got my 20 degree cut towards you. I'm just kind of watching you. Flight resume.
2.
Easy day. Alright, so we're in combat cruise right now. So right here, you I'm gonna call out, like if we're flying combat cruise or fighter wing, I'm gonna call out my heading, and altitude, my airspeed, just keep you updated on the one I'm flying. What you can do over there is just fly those numbers, and then or devote a lot of your attention towards the radar or the FLIR. But let's say from here, you know, a threat pops up in our rear hemisphere. The best thing for us to do is just do a split turn. That way we get separation from each other, we reorient the flight towards where we want to go. So let's call a split turn. It's the same as a hook turn, but we're just going to turn opposite directions from each other. So flight split 060.
2.
So like now if we're doing a 2v1, right, what we'd gain by doing this is we'd force that single bandit to choose one of us. So then we get into like air-to-air tactics. We want that guy to choose one of us and be so far apart that we know who it is, right? If we're too close together that he locks one of us but both of our RWRs are going off, then we're kind of both engaged and both have to honor it. But now what I can do is I can start to drag away from the bandit if I'm engaged, and you'll know that you're free, and you can push in and get a better shot with a Fox 3. Alright, so we went over like some join up stuff, some like turns, and cruise and parade. The tack form stuff is really easy. You either got a delayed turn, right, where the outside turns first, or if you got these instantaneous turns like the check turns and the hook turns. Is there anything else you want to see?
No, you know, I this week I kind of did this with Irish on Thursday, and I think I have a fairly good handle on this part of it.
Yeah, I don't want to beat up something you already understand. Is there anything you do want to go over?
I mean, the carrier landings and air-to-air refueling are going to be the sore spots for me because I have almost no experience doing that until the last week or so here.
Yeah, sure. Check where the tanker is. What's your fuel state?
7.5.
Alright, let's go hit the tanker, and then we'll work on that.
Sounds good.
Okay, let's go with 39 Yankee for the TACAN.
39 Yankee. You know, I'm not sure that I've ever got the tanker TACANs to work for me. I have to have it on air-to-air, right?
It's kind of borked, so go 39 Yankee, but don't turn on air-to-air.
Oh, okay, yeah, that worked.
Yeah, I don't really know why that bug is like that. Alright, so once we get the tack in or a waypoint or whatever, just to make sure that we all have the same thing, what we'll do is we'll do an alpha check. So if someone requests an alpha check, all they're asking is for like the altitude and or the distance and the altitude to that thing. That way we all know we're going to the same thing. So if I ask you for an alpha check, you just read it off for the bearing and then the range.
Alright, bearing is 103, range 43.1.
Yep, that's it. That's what I got too. So we'll just come easy right, and then we'll start heading towards it. So that frequency is 276.1.
.1, and that'll be on COM 1, right?
Now we'll put that in button 7. Yeah, I'm sorry, COM 1, button 7. I'm actually going to slow down. I'm going to let you take the lead on the right to do the join up.
Okay.
What helps sometimes is to lock them up, and that way you get like arm your 120s, and then lock them up, and that way you get the A circle on your HUD, and you can see which direction he's going, and then match the range you see for the target with the range you see for the tack hand.
Yeah, I think I see them. They're at the right range at 10,000 feet.
Yep, that looks about right. Alright, so the same stuff that we talked about before applies. So what I'll do for the A, for the join up for a tanker, is just get like 1,000 feet below him. And that way, if we got to do any aggressive turning, we'll always be able to maintain silent.
Alright, so we want to descend to 9,000 then.
Yeah, we're still kind of ways out, so, you know, however you do it, it's really like, there's no like rule, you know, how to do it. Just whenever you think you're going to start the join up process, you just want to have that deflection set. So right now, do you have the A circle up in the
Anybody got any of the freaks for the tankers?
Nickel 1's headed towards Argo. It's 39 Yankee 276.1.
Say again,
39 Yankee 2761. Thank you.
Do you have him locked up on your radar?
Well, kind of on trackball scan.
Okay, alright. What I'll do is I'll just lock him up, and that way you've got the steering circle.
I think Nickel 3 is going to go ahead and head back towards the boat.
Okay, I've done that.
Okay, now do you see that arrow on the top of the circle?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so like that tells you he's headed away from us.
Right, okay, and we have a closure of 150, it looks like.
Yeah, it's good. So once you see that arrow sort of swing around, right, you know he's coming at us. So if he's going straight like that, we're kind of on the end of the track. So it's not bad because I mean we got 32 miles to go. So odds are he's probably going to be coming at us. Looks like he's starting to shoot right now actually. Well, when we get there. So start thinking about those things, and then the more join-ups you do, you can start to like plan it out in your head where you put your nose as you get closer to it.
So do they do like kind of a racetrack pattern, so he's going to come back around towards us, or is he kind of doing more of a box pattern?
He's probably going to come back towards us. Yeah, it's 2 turns and 2 straights. Sorry. Yeah, 2 180-degree turns and 2 straights. So right there, did you lose lock on him?
I did, yeah. But I can see him on data link too.
Perfect. So the reason we lost lock is because he was perfectly, as he turned, he put us at his 9 o'clock and he notched us, and our radars couldn't see him because he was flying perpendicular to us.
Right.
All right, so you got that frequency set up in button 7?
I do.
So if he's headed at us, what I like to do is cheat to, as we're looking at it, cheat to his, cheat left of him. There you go. All right, so, because what might happen, right, is he might get to the end of his track on this side, and he'll start his left-hand turn. So if we swing out to this end, what we can do is we can do a right-hand turn and end up on his left wing. So let's start descending and get a little lower than him as we're getting our closure here. Arco Nickel 1's a flight of 2, joining from your west at 6 miles. Slide under to your, actually I'll stay here. So we know we're going to do a right hand 180 to join on him. And you kind of just do it whenever you feel comfortable. Just start your turn. You can start it now, and then that'll reduce the time we have to chase him down.
Oh, okay, I see him, yeah. Hook right, I guess.
So right now, I'm going to fly cruise, right? As a wingman, I don't even know where the tanker is. I'm just stuck to you, and you just got to do whatever you got to do to get us there. So this right 180, what I will do though, is I'm going to transition from your right side and cross underneath you over to your left side so we join on his wing, echelon left.
Terry, you got altitude on the tanker?
Yeah, 10,000.
Copy.
And now it's just like what we did before, right? We're chasing him down, but he's probably going to start that left-hand turn. And then all we're going to do is put our nose way out to his left and then slide it on his bearing. But if he would have turned earlier, right, we would have been in a good position to roll out, like abandon that right-hand turn we did, and then we'd intercept him over there at like our 10 o'clock.
Right.
Arco 2-1 in field 4-1. Request rejoin.
Oh dear.
Oh, you got it. So pull the power all the way out, right? Because we know we're going to eke up on them.
Yeah, he was going much slower than I thought. I thought he would be going like 320.
Yeah. That's why that locking them up helps, because you see like your V sub C.
Yeah, I'm on your wing now.
Yep, I got you. I'm still flying off of you, so you can come right and do whatever you want to do. But I'm gonna fly to get back in position here.
All right, I'm gonna bring us right then.
Okay. Dude, you are not the first or the last person to like overrun the tanker, man. We all do it.
Cool.
There you go. Nice job.
Oh, yeah, but he's still coming this way. Shit.
Yep, you're good. I'm just gonna fly off your wing, man. Don't worry about me. Me in track IR or VR?
Track IR.
Yeah, me too. I think it's actually better, man.
Yeah, it has its pluses and minuses for sure.
Yeah. The downside is BFM, man. It's like really hard to look at guys over your shoulder. And one thing I would do is I would give him a call. Just give him that preemptive call as you join on him. That way you get out of the way. And then remember, you want to be below him.
Do we know which tanker this is?
So it sorts them by the distance from you. So it's always F1 if you're joining on him.
Arco 2-1 in field 4-1. Request rejoin.
In field 4-1. Arco 2-1. Proceed to pre-contact at 10,000 at 240.
All right, I called him.
Okay, so generally we'd want to join on his left wing. So and the bearing that I have on you is what you want to have on him. This is where you get some of that practice.
Clancy is 84 miles northwest RTB.
Trying to think of a good
Arco, Nickel 4, flight of 2 F-18, 10 miles to the west, rejoin left.
Yeah, so the reason we want to be here is because those guys joining would expect us to be here. If we're too far in trail and they join up, they might cut us off and they might not see us up here. There you go, that's perfect. So then from here, you're just gonna make a call and just say, hey, Nickel 1-2 is moving from left observation to the left basket.
Nickel 1-2 moving from left observation to left basket. Yeah, and then the hard part.
Ah, you got it, man. You're really smooth, man. So remember that you want to get a little bit below him, right? So a good visual cue is, you know, those HUD supports that hold the glass. You know, whatever you're flying off of is above that. If you draw that line out to the left, to the right.
Ready, pre-contact.
Cleared contact.
Guess it helps if I have the probe out too.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna give you one pointer, and then I'm gonna shut up. So as you're moving around here and you're flying off at him, just try and stay in one spot, right? Steady yourself, and then move in one direction until you plug. One direction at a time.
Break away, break away, break away.
Alright, when he comes to break away, am I going to have to call him again, or is it just okay to keep going?
You can just ignore that call.
Two.
Dude, you're rock solid.
Break away, break away, break away.
Oh, just missed it.
No, you're in. You're in. Just pull. Keep pulling forward. That was good, dude. You're rock solid. You're steady and just making small inputs to get you there. That's, dude. That's perfect.
Oops. Oh, okay, I gotta start over.
Break away, break away. Break away, break away, break away.
It's really weird. I saw you nail that, so maybe try and call contact again. I've never seen that problem.
No, I am missing it. I am missing it.
Okay, all right.
It's like a good height, but it's a little bit to the left.
Go one smooth left observation, right mask.
Contact.
I got it. That.
You're taking fuel.
Arco 2-1 in field 4-1. Request rejoin.
So what's the procedure when I'm done tanking?
Field 4-1. Arco
I'm just gonna say
2-1.
that you're
Proceed to pre-contact at 10,000
moving from the left pod
at 240.
to right observation.
Return pre-contact.
Ready, pre-contact.
Cleared contact. Contact. You're taking fuel. Contact. You're taking fuel.
my god, this is amazing.
You're crushing it, dude.
Once I hit 10,000, I'm gonna quit.
Okay.
Nickel 1-2, moving from left pod to right observation.
Are you sure you haven't done this before?
I've definitely been practicing today.
Make sure you cancel your refuel when you get set there, brother.
Abort rejoin.
Yeah, dude, it shows, man.
In all my practice sessions, I wasn't that smooth, though.
4-1. Request rejoin.
Well, and the time pays off, man. Alright, so I heard you make your call that you're moving, and I'm done here. So I'm gonna hold here.
Request rejoin.
So I know you're a maneuver behind me until you say that you're on the right side, okay?
Infield 4-1. Arco 2-1. Proceed to pre-contact at 10,000 at 240.
Echo 4-1 is moving from left holding to left basket.
Nickel 1-2 is at right observation.
Nickel 1-1's backing out.
Arco
right past
2-1. Infield 4-1. Request rejoin.
Alright, I'm gonna slide out to your outside.
Infield 4-1. Arco 2-1. Proceed to
Alright, we'll wait for these
pre-contact
guys
at
to be done, and we'll go back
10,000
and see
at
if they want to
240.
Alright, so a couple things.
Ready, pre-contact.
Remember to not fly high off of the guy.
Echo 2-1, Nickel 4-1, going left side observation to hose 2. Time.
Ready, pre-contact.
Get him above you.
Cleared contact.
There you go. This just gives you a lot of room and a lot of flexibility to be lower than
Is it cheating to use the autopilot altitude hold here?
him. Yeah, a little bit.
Contact.
I ain't mad at you though. If you're
taking
cheating,
fuel.
you ain't trying. Alright, go ahead and pull your probe in.
Ready, pre-contact.
Cleared contact.
You're good. Alright, so that's a good example. So if you turn towards me right there, if I was higher than you and I gotta roll my wings away from you, I'm gonna lose sight of you really easily. Alright, the other thing is if you're not gonna top off, what's easier than aborting your refuel is to just pull your probe in while you're still in the basket.
Okay. I might have to set up a keybind for that.
Yeah, it's up to you. That's one way to do it. If you want to cancel the rejoin when you back out, that's just a personal technique.
Arco 2-1. Passing waypoint 1 at 10,000.
No, I do like that idea better. I am gonna get a keybind for it.
Arco 2-1. On station at bullseye 220 for 110 at 10,000.
Alright, this tanker just drained them. Now they didn't get
Terry, how much gas you got?
We've got 10,000 apiece, so that was our fault.
No, you're good.
Oh, we took all the gas?
I mean, this server's run for so long, it's just bad luck, man. That guy was probably going to despawn anyways, and then we just caught him at the end of this time on station.
Alright, well, that was one hard thing crossed off the list. Now the next hard thing.
Yeah, we'll just keep crushing all day, man. Okay, let's go up 72 X-ray again.
Alright, 72X.
Okay, I got him 310 for 72.
Yep, same here.
Alright, I got the wheel on the right, coming right. Got a low climb in here too. go ahead and mill power.
Terry, my dash 2 is low on gas. We're gonna head toward the carrier anyway.
Yeah, copy. Coming up, mill power.
Yeah, sorry, I already was at no power and then I got in front of you.
No, I didn't hear you.
How far out are you guys?
Acknowledge that. I wasn't sure if you did it or not.
70 miles.
Let's go COM 1, button 3.
Tower confirms 304, we're on launch and get back
COM 1, button 3.
See you at 10.
Slow down just a little bit here.
Yeah, 301, Marshall, push, contact approach, button 2. Stay 59, we're on button 2.
Okay, I'm just gonna run through this thing. I'll just narrate it as I do it, tell you what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And you have any questions before we call Marshall?
No, I don't have any. I understand the very general concept here, so just the details is what I need.
Yeah, sure. I'll just run through it as I do it. You can just set up on the right whenever you're ready.
Yeah, once we get past these clouds.
Yeah, smart man. What's your side number?
375.
And your state?
9.3.
I'm a little bit more draggy than you. I think that's a factor too. You've got 2 tanks and you've got 1. It makes a little bit of a difference when we talk about like both go and mill power.
You know what? I thought I fixed that, but apparently I didn't.
Yeah, no worries, dude. All right, let's level off here at 20, and then cruise and I'll call the builders. Crack the power back a little bit from the mill, so try and get up on that bearing and then we'll work on something else. Marshall 300.
300, Union Marshall, go.
300 with 375, marking mothers 130 for 50 miles, Angels 20, state 9.3.
And 300, Union Marshall, weather's clear, visibility is 10 plus, altimeter's 29er, 9er2. Case 1 recovery, expect BRC 274, report see you at 10.
300, 29er, 9er2, bearing 274, see you at 10. Alright, so we're just trucking in now. Yeah, you're looking good, dude. We got plenty of gas to spare, so I have no problem just cruising faster than that next range number. And then we'll just start a little nose down here to descend down to 2,000 feet at 10 miles from the building.
Marshall 314.
314, Marshall, go.
Marshall 314, holding hands with 313, marking mothers 130 for 50, Angels 25, low state 5.5.
Yeah, 304, Union Marshall. 314, Marshall, weather's clear, visibility is 10 plus miles, altimeter is 29er, 9er2. Case 1 recovery, expected BRC 274, report to me at 10.
Okay, so from here, This is your last
Be
chance
advised,
to
Marshal, we may transition the stack to go to the S3 overhead. Any word on the frequency and TACAN for that?
Hey, 314 Marshal, I'll get it for you if you can. Just keep pushing. As soon as you enter the airspace, we'll get you in the stack and then we'll push you to the S3 if needed.
304, thanks.
Alright, last chance to check the switches in your cockpit. So let's say we launched from the beach. You know, you'd want to change the hook bypass and the anti-skid, make sure it's all good, and then put in the course line now. So you get all that stuff done. That way, when we push into 10 miles and we're flying like a tight cruise or parade, you don't have to do anything else in the cockpit, but just fly.
Yep, copy that.
Fine.
Okay, switches are set in course line for 274.
Just hogging the airspeed and altitude and just trying to fly by not making a lot of inputs. Let's go hooks down.
Your hook is down.
You got a good hook as well? Alright, so now I was looking at the boat there. What I'm doing is I'm looking to see where I want to catch arc orbit in low holding. So I'm going to shoot to the right just a little bit here. And I'm looking to just catch that circle on its right edge. That way we just enter a left-hand turn and then we'll low holding.
Go for 314.
Hey, 314 Marshal, update your low state.
Low state 5.0.
Hey, 314 Marshal, are you wanting to go directly to the S3 or just hit it up if needed?
We'll go ahead and A-firm, we'll go ahead and hit the tanker. It looks like the stack's pretty full.
Alright, 314 Marshal, descend and maintain 6,000, Angel 6. Tanker is position 4 at 6,000, break. TACAN 38 Yankee, push 317.775, how copy?
314, descend and maintain 6,000. I got 38 Yankee, go again with the frequency.
Frequency is 317.775.
Copy, 317.775 for 314, thanks.
300C at 6.
Hey, 300, update low state and contact approach button 2.
What's your state?
All over the place, and 8.4.
300 low state, 8.4.
0 tower 7 and climb to 4,000.
Arcade 7 to the stack 4,000.
And 300, welcome to Towers Freak and the overhead. Go ahead and maintain your squadron assigned altitude. Break. Expected BRC is 274. Break. 99. Recovery window has initiated. 301. Your signal is Charlie. 301. 303. Your signal is Charlie. 303.
Dig.
You mind dragging us in?
Bring it.
Alright, join on your left, on your right. Alright, you got an option here. Do you want to take his dash 2 spot, or you want to fly up to dash 3?
Tell you what freak you on, or what button.
I can fly dash 3.
Okay. We're on button 1.
Diggs with you on button 1.
Be the man.
100, tower, descend and maintain 3,000. Taken for 100. Descend and maintain 3000. 100, 3,000.
Alright, so flying dash 3 is a little tricky. So what you're doing is, those bearings we talked about, you're going to fly off the lead's bearing. So I'm going to stay level with him as I slide into his belly. You're looking through me and you're flying off lead. If you try and fly off of me, right, and I get squirrely and I'm trying to fly off a lead, you're basically like on the end of a whip. And you're just going to be adjusting to my adjustments. But if we all fly off the same bearing, if I get out of sorts, I'm going to try and get back to that spot, and you don't have to move if you're already on the bearing.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And Gigs, your hook is up.
Thank you.
So the bearing is, it's the same. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to eke forward a little bit, and I'm going to line up the AIM-9 with his head, but like in a vertical plane. So I'm just drawing a line from his head straight up, and I'm just going to use that as my bearing. That way,
100, tower, update fuel state when you're done dumping.
when he rolls out, I'll be in
100.
position to be in parade.
Tower, be advised, 300 has joined 304.
And copy, 304 is joined 300. And 99, tower, be advised, Cat 4 JBD is still up and broken. Just be aware as you're coming in. Line Hornet Ball, 4.9er. Roger ball.
Hornet Ball, 4.6.
Roger ball. Rifle on it.
What's your...
And 300, tower, signal Charlie. Say again?
Yeah, Gigs, you can respond to it.
304 is Charlie.
Okay, 304, tower, you taking the lead in the stack?
304, affirm.
303 Hornet ball, 4.7.
Roger ball. Rifle on it. Well, ready to go.
Yep. 2.
B. Rolling out, bringing in speed. Nose and over.
I didn't see him both, sir.
Tower 100, state 8.5. Tower, copies.
215, 4.0.
Rifle ball. Rifle on it. Rifle on it. Looking good, 31 knots down the deck. Hey, 100, single Charlie.
Am I supposed to be on button 3, column 1 still?
Sorry.
100, Cypress Charlie.
Last 3-1, under tension, cat 1. Yeah, it's awfully quiet, I just realized.
And that's calling, go ahead and launch.
Terry, is the plan to run multiple traps tonight?
I think we're just going to recover and get out of this way.
I need to help the wife, so I'm gonna drop off. I'll try to get back.
I've got us a little caddy cord and gents, sorry. Leveled off, normal or reg break, 17 seconds. We'll see you on the deck. In the break.
That's a bad idea.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Sorry, Diggs.
Nope, that's all good. I didn't pay attention. It's my fault. Spin.
Trees in the break.
Hey, 304 Tower, you say you're commencing now?
Is commencing. 304 is spinning it out.
Yeah, I've got 300 in the pattern. 304, extend 3 miles at your current heading. I've got a Tomcat that's in front of you on the initial.
300. Correction, 304.
3-1 ball. Roger ball. So what's happening? Are we still getting the land?
304, go ahead and turn in commencement already.
Say again for 304.
can recommence when ready.
304 commence. Tower 314.
314, go for tower.
Tower 314-2, off tanker at S3. We are currently 18 miles to the east, looking to rejoin the stack.
Stand by.
300 Hornet Ball 5.7.
Roger ball.
And 314 tower, go ahead and descend, maintain 2,000 in the stack. Should be the highest guys up. Nobody's underneath you. That's not already commenced.
314 copies ascending to 2,000 here in the stack. 375 Hornet ball. Roger ball. Go low. Right front, line up. Wave it off, wave it off.
You got no one else to the left of you, so you can turn down whenever you're set.
Copy.
Tomcat ball 7.9 manual. Roger.
Chief, place the wheel chocks.
Copy. Wheel chocks are now in place.
375 tower update state. 375 state at 6.8. 314 and 313 single Charlie.
314 signals Charlie. Hornet ball. Roger ball.
And 375 update your fuel state when you call Hornet ball.
Missing. Left line up. Go power. Go trap. 255.
Are you good with taxiing on Cat 1?
I guess we'll find out.
Alright, stop going forward. Turn right, get off the landing area, point towards Irish.
304, Hornet ball 4.8.
Roger ball.
There you go. So you're always just going to turn right, get off the landing area, so taxi forward towards Irish until your tail's over that candy stripe line. There you go. Keep going forward. Keep coming forward.
Wave off. Hornet on on Cat 2, I need you to push forward. You're fouling the deck, you're fouling the deck. Turn right, get back in the lineup behind the Hornet there on Cat 1.
He's telling you just to point towards Irish.
Hornet on Cat 2, yep.
So it's kind of tricky on casual launching. All you're going to do is pilot behind them, they launch, taxi down, kind of launch. Down.
Okay, copy that.
So some of the non-verbal signals are if the guy that means that keep your wings open, y'all
Yeah, 100 Tower, if you want to stay in the pattern when you launch, you can. Pattern's a little less crowded this time.
Roger that. Turn into the downwind. 100's wheels up.
314 Hornet ball 6.5.
Roger ball.
Right for line.
Hornet ball 4.8. Roger ball.
But you can see how numbers just taxied straight off there. He's going to fall in line behind you.
So I'm just taxiing forward and then turning around, is the idea?
Yep, I'll talk you through it if you haven't done it.
I always feel weird running these guys over.
Yeah, they're not the smartest people, so we can afford to lose them. Yeah, so you don't have to go all the way down to the end if you don't want to, but basically you're gonna swing around and then hug the far side of the boat, and then whenever you're comfortable, you're gonna pull into the left side of Cali.
Roger ball.
And you see this red and white line that's closest to us on the side towards Cat 1?
Yes, yeah, don't get my nose past that.
Yeah, you got it.
Bolter.
Alright, there you go. Do you want to do any traps, or do you want to jump off?
I don't know, I think I might need to jump off after that session.
Yeah, I'm there with you. I'm going to jump off as well. We can jump down to Classroom 1, and then I think your jet's rolling forward. Alright, let's just despawn, and then we'll jump down to Classroom 1.
Okay.
Alright. Good times.
Yes, that was a lot of fun.
It's a lot, right? Like, but dude, you nailed it, man. Like, you flew good form the whole time. Us like overrunning the tanker, things like that, like getting scrolly sometimes, that's just gonna happen. Even, if you fly for like 3 years, that's still gonna happen every once in a while. But the important thing is that you collected yourself really well, and it wasn't like the flight ran into each other, or we got so screwed up that we couldn't even find each other. We got so far apart. So I think that's like something that means that you're like 99% of the way to being able to go out and do anything and just crush it every time.
Huh. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, it really is. And then the other things, it's just learning, right, like how this particular group does things.
Hmm.
And that just comes with time and getting out there and getting reps. So, um, things you did well was you got off the boat, right, with that calamity. That's always challenging, and that's part of like the induced friction that we create by like us always flying on one boat. Like we could easily put a boat for every squadron, um, but in the end, it's kind of not fun.
Yeah, I was going to say it was really fun having that chaos in the boat full of aircraft like that.
Yeah, and the more we do it, right, we're just figuring out a better, more smooth way of doing it, and it gets pretty. By the time we go do like a big mission, we've got like a spawn plan, we've got um, a like a cat launch plan, and we were like this well-fueled machine as like a big JTF group with 4 squadrons out there. And this is just part of those growing pains to keep ourselves sharp and get there.
Hmm.
Um, the join up, that's something that will come with time. So I'll show you. Actually, let's just do this. I'll show you the tag view, and that way you can kind of see what people are doing, and then how to fly it. It's like one of those things that's kind of hard to explain.
Is there an explanation for it in one of the PDF resources
Yeah,
that's out there?
let's do that first then. Let's see here. Let's see. Do you have the link to the Google Drive?
I do,
Okay.
yes.
All right. Let me just make sure it's in there here. So this is our Google Drive 122. This is it right here. This is the best document. Have you seen this one?
I have it up on my screen right now. I was
Per
using the
Perfect.
carrier layout to tell where I was.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, let me just find this. I haven't looked this in a long time, so this is good for me. Departing procedures. Okay, this doesn't have it in it. Nope, doesn't have it in there. Okay, so let's use TACV then. Alright, this is a bunch of shenanigans. Can you see the TACV okay?
Yes.
Okay, alright. So things that you want to set yourself up for success early, kind of like how we talked about just getting all the switches and stuff set up before you push into tower's airspace on the recovery. It just makes life a lot easier. While we're talking about that though, I do apologize because I did not push you to COM 1 button 2. He told us to do it, and then I was like just overwhelmed at that point, and I didn't push that over to you, so that was my fault.
Yeah, I'll probably know that now going forward anyway.
Yeah, so that's
Once we get to within 10 miles or once we get in the stack, we want to
it's
switch?
10 miles. So what we'll
Okay.
do is we'll say see you at 10. We kind of do it at 10 as a standard, even though like sometimes, I mean, on the map you can see the boat from like 30 miles out. We do it 10 miles, and so there's a couple of things that happen there. We want to make sure we have our hooks down, and then all those switches done. So the course line, symbology, but also what I didn't brief you on was fuel state. So I started to talk to you about it, but I was like, man, I'm working hard right now, so I didn't want to add one more thing onto your plate. But what I'll do, because we got a lot of fuel, is I'll get in the stack, kind of get a feel for when we're going to commence, and then I'll start dumping. But I don't want to dump too early.
Right.
So I hold it. So I started dumping like as we started to push, and I shut it off about when we were about to break. Um, and that got me down to like trap weight. The trap weight, like in the real world, is so that you don't stress the airframe. But in DCS, it's important because it makes your groove consistent.
Right.
Because if you get down to like a 1.5 fuel state, you'll notice that the plane just like sails down there low as you get into the wind effect, and you'll go over the wires. So just to make flying the groove a little easier, I try and stay within that aircraft weight, and it just makes it easier. So do things when they're early. So when you're launching, you want to have the TACAN in, and that way you can get that 7 miles when you're pushing out, and also the BRC, because you're gonna do your clearing turn, get on the BRC, and you're basically flying out there to get underneath guys coming in for the break. So that's why we do that departure that way. And especially on our server, you never know who's coming in over top of you, and the last thing you want to do is fly up through someone's break turn. So you got the TACAN in, you know, the BRC, and then you're set for a join up and high holding. It can be anybody who launches first, just gets up there and gets set up. So this is what it looks like. So we were on the deck for what seemed like forever. So I'm flying out, doing my boring turn out here to 7 miles, and then the Hornet doesn't build airspeed very well. If you pull the nose back and you're at a low power state, the knots are just kind of fall off, and then now you're like hanging on by the edge of your blade. So what you do is you stay stay fast and low, and then pull the nose up, and then you can start climbing. So I'm kind of rolling out here, and I'm shooting for 12,000 and 250, and now I'm just going to hold that. So if I look from the top, you know the circle, right? The points 1, 2, 3, and 4.
That's the stack.
The positions in the stack.
Right.
So what I'm shooting for is position 3 to be on my altitude, and then slowing down to like my max endurance, which we always say in the stack is 250. I'm just gonna park it up there. All right, so
Okay.
I hope that makes sense. So I'll just go back. Actually, what I can do is just show you the HUD. That's better. So 300 knots, under 500 feet. This is CIS. So again, mill power, just holding on the horizon. I get like 450 here, and just pull the nose back. And now at this point, what I'm also doing is looking at my HSI. I'm doing that left-hand turn and keeping the boat at my 9. So my scan is at airspeed, the altitude, and then the HSI to make sure I'm going to stay within the 10-mile high holding boundary of the boat.
Okay. So it's okay. So there's a circle for the stack that has the positions 1, 2, 3, 4, but the circle you're talking about is a bigger circle, a 10-mile circle. But it's still kind of got the same points. Like point 1 is over the boat, point 2 is the first one, and then point 3 is like 90 degrees, or like kind of downwind leg kind of sort of thing of the boat, but 10 miles away.
So when you're out there at 10 miles, you're outside of the high holding circle. When you come back in, you're entering that circle, and that's why I was saying I'm entering it at position 3.
Oh, okay. So you're going out and you're climbing up, and then you're coming back in.
Exactly.
Okay.
So this is 10 miles from the boat, right? This way, because you're entering this big circle. It's a 10-mile or a 20-mile diameter. That's the arc. This circle is 10 miles this way. So it's 10 miles from this way. And so it goes like this. So you're entering out here, climbing outside of it, and entering it. So the reason you do that is, let's say we've like the whole squadron's flying, right? We've got 4 flights up there, and they're already established, and they're in their little wagon wheel. You're out here, so if you can't push directly in because you'd merge with someone, you would just stay out further, let them get further in the circle, and then cut in, so that you're in between 2 flights that are already established.
Okay. Is this circle centered on the carrier?
No,
though?
so this is position 1. The boat's going this way.
Okay.
Position 1, 2, 3, and 4 back here.
So how do you fly that circle?
You just eyeball it.
Okay.
What you'll see as you guys, we'll see it right here as guys are doing it. It's not perfect.
Right.
So you're kind of using a mix of different things. Like I'm gonna, whoever's up first is gonna tell you what position they're at. I'm at position 1. I'm at position 2. I'm at position 3. Whatever it is, and you're kind of just doing some math, looking out for them. Use your Jahikmas, and then try and sort out who's who in the zoo.
Okay.
But you'll see it's not perfect. But that's why I say like if I'm at position 4, then you at least know I'm like in this general vicinity. See
And
how.
since we take off at different times, like how are we supposed to try to join up in the circle, or you just wait in that circle until you're well, okay, like what if there was a flight of 4 of us?
Yep. So the lead or whoever gets there first is basically the temporary flight lead. Like they're just gonna be calling out, and then as you come up, you're just one at a time joining on the rest of the flight.
Okay. So you kind of have to time it to join. You have to, that's why, if you're climbing up and then you're like, okay, I'm at position 2, and then you're like, okay, I'll probably be able to join you at position 3, kind of, and you
Uh,
just talk it out.
yeah, you would think it's more organized, but the answer is you just do what you got to do, man. So the reason you join out here, another reason why you join out here, looks like chaos, is you get to your altitude out here and then you come in because we've got guys at 13 and 14,000 on this join up here.
Mm-hmm.
And what you're allowed to do at your altitude is cut through the circle to get to your flight.
So each flight is assigned its own altitude.
Each squadron.
Oh shit. Okay. So there could be
Yeah,
12 of us all the same altitude.
exactly,
Okay.
exactly. It sounds terrible, but it's actually pretty cool. And that's why we worked on the join up part, because you don't want to get in that tail chase. Because if you imagine if everyone did that in that circle, right, you wouldn't be able to tell who was who.
Yeah.
So
Well,
everyone, go
yeah,
ahead.
I play IL-2 World War or like Great Battles game.
Right.
So I have like a tiny bit of it's very casual, of course, but like when we take off, we do a Platzrunde, they say, where they just circle the airfield and then everybody takes off and they cut the circle until you have all formed up and then you fly out.
Exactly.
So I definitely
Exactly.
understand that concept.
Yep.
And sometimes we have like 10 aircraft, so it is, yeah, I kind of get the concept. But then you're just doing that from like the airfield level up to like a few hundred feet kind of thing.
Right. Yeah. Like I couldn't imagine how like the 8th and 15th Air Force did that. Like over, like you've got
Yeah,
1,000 planes joining up in one formation to go bomb Dresden, right? Like
yeah,
that's insane.
yeah.
So you get it, but and I've joined up on the wrong person multiple times. It's gonna happen, right? So
Now I've noticed like on other like multiplayer servers when they have set flights in the missions, it'll actually tell you ABC on the
right,
data link, right?
yeah.
But I
So
suppose we're not set up that way.
if I build a mission for us, that's what I'll do. I'll make flights of 4, um, and then like in the brief, I'll tell you, hey, if you're a fist aircraft, you're Enfield. Nickel is Springfield, and then everyone's got A, B, C, and D for their flights.
Oh, right. I
Um,
did see that on the mission that Irish did on Tuesday. That's
yeah, so
I did
like
see that.
those are the things that we start to like, oh, this makes sense, right? And now it's like an SOP.
Hmm.
You still brief it, right? But you start putting these things away to use for later. On this server, though, because we've got so many squadrons flying and whatever, they're all individual aircraft.
Hmm.
And that's why you got to be able to like try and get in the vicinity of where we expect people to be and then just talk it through to get you there. But you got it. Cut through the circle. The join ups that you did today are perfect. Put your nose out there, slide it on the bearing. Like keep him in the same spot on your canopy. Um, the thing to work on is to stay below the guy you're flying with. That'll make it a lot easier. Um, as I was flying, I kind of was like trying to figure out how to explain it. Like, so those brackets that hold your HUD, if you use that as like a guide and just draw a line out to your left and right, if you want to keep him above that line.
Right. That
And
that makes sense.
that'll be a good reference. And if he's above the horizon, that's another way to do it. So when you start flying, like we start doing like night missions, you're gonna be, putting your the NVG tube over the guy you're flying off of, and then all you can see is in that tube. So um, that's essentially joining in high holding. And again, whoever is there first, because it could be you, we're just going to join on you, and we're going to expect you to fly in that circle. It's not perfect. Like you saw, we joined on gigs, right? And like we weren't kind of in a perfect circle, but we're just kind of like flying around, making it work.
Mm-hmm.
And then slow to 250. So any questions over the high holding?
No, I think that is. I'll have to see it a few more times and try it a few more times because I kind of messed up the departure anyway. But yeah, I think it makes sense.
Yeah, no worries. Let's see. All right, so then I kind of found you, found you. Hey, just give me your heading to the boat, and now I know like clock code where you are from the ship, so I can pick you out on the SA page.
Mm-hmm.
And then basically started doing some of the tac form stuff here. So got you going in a certain direction, and then did the whole join up on you thing from your 6. That's the best way to start to do it. If you want to work on that, the best way to do it is just put a tanker on a map and just fly, join on the tanker, flying in a circle or whatever.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Go ahead.
I said, yeah, that makes sense because it'll. Yeah, I can
Just
do that on my own then. Yeah.
yeah, it's just a dummy flying. We worked on like the underruns, some of the like turning into the wingman, turning away from the wingman stuff, but like you've got all that stuff figured out. Big thing is just match the dude's. If you do anything, just match his angle of bank. If he turns, like if you just match it right away, then everything else is a lot easier to collect and fine tune. We did the tack turns, in place turns, check turns. We did dig and a resume. Let's see. So we do. We joined on the tanker. Locking them up. That's always a good method to use, especially at night. You're not going to be able to see them until you get a lot closer to them. So you're basically just flying off of the aspect and the closure rate that your HUD gives you until you can get close enough. There is a rule of thumb. I want to say the closure rate is like 10% of the distance. So like a mile, you can have 100 knots, 0.5 is 50 knots, and then slow it down to that. That'll help you out.
Okay.
And then you can back that down if you want to give you more of a buffer. Let's see. And then the recovery. Let's go to the recovery. You got anything else for the tank or anything?
And it went way smoother than I thought it was going to.
Dude, you crushed it, man.
Yeah.
You did really well.
I feel like I almost collided with the guy in the right basket when I did the probe switch because I had to look down on the cockpit for a second.
Yeah.
But I'm going to bind that key.
Yeah, for sure. That's one thing that I've got as well. That you did really well here too. Just doing what you got to do. Like if you're the guy out in front, just fly what you want to fly. All your wingmen are going to stay with you, and then, we'll stay with you. So right here, like you caught it, like he's already coming. So this track that he's in looks like a Twinkie.
Mm-hmm.
So he just does 2 long legs and then 2 turns. So you can kind of like anticipate, if he starts his turn where you're going to be. So like right here where our nose is way out in front of him, and that was a little too much. So we corrected back too much the other way, but we still got it done. And then at the tanker, right, we want to join up over here because you can see those other guys are going to come in too, and they're going to come in and do the exact same thing. If we're back here, that just means that everyone else has to stack back here as well. And then it's just announcing intentions. Every radio call that you make outside of the flight is the same 3 things. This is who I am. this is where I am or what I'm doing, and this is what I want to do. So you got that down perfect. And it's just plain language. I'm over here. I'm on this basket. I want to go to the right side. Right observation. I'm glad that I was done while you were maneuvering because I'm not gonna back out. I'm just gonna hold what I got, even though the hose was already reeled in, until I know that you're clear. And it's really helpful, especially when you're doing night tanking, because you just don't have the visual, the scan, the field of regard you do in daytime. So you're really just working off of, that communication. There's a couple ways you can rejoin your flight. I like how you joined on his left wing. That was perfect. That's the way I like to do it. Some guys will push their wingman out here, and then the leads will join on the wingman's left side, if that makes sense. But sometimes it just gets things scattered out too wide over here. Because if you got multiple flights or multiple squadrons, it's kind of hard to tell who's who. So what I like to do is just stack everyone. Whatever order you come off the hose, you stack out here, and then we'll pull off the tanker, and then we'll get away from everyone, and then we'll reshuffle the flight, which is a lot easier than leaving huge gaps in the tanker.
Right.
Tanker's right side. All right, let's go to the recovery here. So one thing that we did that I like that we with like the opportunity gave itself was joining on another aircraft. So we came in kind of fast. So what I did was I just swung out here outside the circle, let him get out in front, and then joined on him. So there's no point in like us swing out way out here to come in and be opposite the circle from him when he's a single and we can easily make a light division.
Right.
So here we've got 3 flights in low holding. Numbers is about to make. Actually, these guys are commencing. They're commencing as well. So you got Irish up here, and you got us. So that would work out perfect if it was 3 of us. We're kind of spread out, and then we can all commence with enough spacing that we can come out here and get in the pattern and get aboard. But there's your low holding circle. Same thing. You got position 1, 2, 3, and 4. This circle is 5 miles wide. And you're just kind of eyeballing it. And then we're the lowest section as well, or the lowest squadron. So you're going to have all the squadrons that are above us from 12, 13, 14, 15. They're the same thing down here. We're at 2. You've got Fist at 3,000, and then Tomcats at 4 and 5. And then here we're doing the demo of like flying under someone's belly. So if you're daytime turning away from the wingman, you just stay where you are. You don't have to climb and be up on the plane up here. It's just a lot easier. So that way when he rolls out, like you're already in position. Flying -3 and -4 sucks, man. It's terrible. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like flying at -4, I'm almost saying like, all right, like 2 and 3, like you don't exist. And I'm not going to pay attention to you except for just keeping my distance from you, right? So I can try and keep the same interval, whatever spacing 2 chooses off a lead, I'm going to try and duplicate that. But wherever you are, forward, back, up, and down to here, I'm not going to try and match it. I'm going to stick on the bearing I should be on, and you're going to try and do that. And if we both do it, it'll look well. If you fall back or get squirrely, right, you're going to try and get to that point. But if I try and follow you to keep the same lineup as you, then I'm just like constantly moving out here. And then imagine 3 doing that, and then 4's doing it on a bigger like yo-yo.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone just line up on the bearing and try and stick with it. A couple other weird things happened here. So Gigs made a mistake here, which is like really easy to do because people are hard to see. So there's that first to the bow rule. So I think it was probably Irish. So we're coming into initial. He's our interval. So we can't break until he's at our like 7 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Gigs just breaks right here. And then
Oh,
it's
wow.
unfortunate. Yeah. And it's hard to see. So what set us up for failure was we didn't quite hit initial and we were making a lot of adjustments. So that's where his attention was. This is like a good example of setting yourself up early. And now, okay, I'm on 350, 800 feet. I got the heading good. Now I'm looking out for traffic in the left downwind over here and just looking for planes.
Mm-hmm.
If it's clear, right, then I'll break into it. But if you're still fixing your parameters you're flying on back here, this is what falls off. So what he has to do is spin it. Are you familiar with that?
That's just basically, oh, I would say it's almost like the bolter. Like you fly around, you fly over the deck, and you just stay at 600 feet the whole time.
Well, so you haven't broke yet. So think about like the boat pattern
Oh,
here.
okay. Like if he did see the traffic.
All right. So if he did see the traffic, he could just extend
Oh,
upwind.
right. Okay.
Just keep pushing until Irish is at your 7, and then you can enter the downwind and descend, to 600.
Yeah.
Um,
So I don't know what it is then.
so spinning is, so you've got 600-foot pattern down here, right? You've got 800-foot break, and then spinning it is climbing to 12 and going back to initial.
Oh.
So another reason why you might spin it is that let's say you're coming in for the break and the pattern's full. You can only have 6 planes in the pattern or else they get strung out like way out here.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're coming to the break and you're like 1, 2, 3, 4, fuck me, I got like a division. Like if I were to wait to break and I break out here, well 3 and 4 are breaking way out here. And then now I can't reasonably expect someone coming in for the break behind me to see guys out here past 4 miles. So if you're going to break past 4 miles or your flight, anywhere your flight is, you'll spin it. So you'll climb to 1200, turn over the pattern, fly to 1200 back here, and then re-enter at initial and try again to break.
But you would only do that if you hadn't broke then, if you didn't do the break.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like a funnel, right? What are those little, like a marble run? Like a marble run. Like you go down to a layer, like
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah, like you try and get down to the deck, right, to the bottom layer.
Mm-hmm.
This is like one exception where you come up a little bit to try and get back down into that bottom layer.
So what was the solution when he broke early and it looks like he actually got in front of Irish? I think I vaguely recall some chatter on the radio about it, but I was concentrated on my own stuff at the
Yeah,
moment.
yeah. So let me see here. These guys done. All right, we'll talk about it with the big group here. But so what he has to do is just spin it. And this is where like the procedures work themselves out. So he's going to spin it. He goes out here. It doesn't matter how fast he flies, where he goes. He just comes back to initial on his own. Comes back in for the break. If the pattern's full, you spin it again. If there's room in the pattern for you to break, you just break and turn in downwind.
Right,
So,
because he would have to do this before he kind of like, kind of right away, I guess.
yep, yeah, just climb to 1200. That's your altitude. No one else is up there but you. Do
Yeah.
what you got to do. So, what Espresso did though was like, oh, there's a guy coming in for the break, like extend to this heading or whatever it was, and that's like really non-standard. That's not the way you do it. Um, there's nothing wrong with me being like a mile in trail of someone in the break, because if I get here, I'm just applying that rule, right? Like, can I break? Can I turn into the downwind? Okay, I'll let those guys in front of me break, and I'm gonna be out here, and I break. If I can do it within 4 miles, I'm in the downwind. If I can't, I'm just gonna spin it again.
Okay. Okay, now I just realized something in the middle of that, and I don't know why. But the reason that you have to say your state when you're calling the ball then is because they need to know how heavy your aircraft is. Like it actually matters to them when they're calling you in then.
It matters to them because there's rules to. All right, so they want to know. They want to know who's got a dangerous state. So the wing sets rules for you will check in with this fuel. They'll say, um, let's say like a min fuel, and then enough for 2 passes. And then they'll say, hey, this is what you got to have. If you're below that, then they'll try and get you in before somebody else. And then if you're down to what they call tanking on the ball, which means I'm at the fuel state where I can't try again, then the tanker F-18 will start hawking you, and they'll be ready. What they'll do is they'll descend down and they'll be right off the side of the ship. If you bolter, all you got to do is just climb off the landing area, and he's right there in front of you, and you'll tank.
Okay.
So there's a lot of like choreography that goes into that, and that's just them making sure that no one runs out of gas. It's really especially important in case 3 when we're given each individual a push time to leave their holding. So like if I'm a flight lead of a 4, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give them the fuel state, and then I'm going to stack you like by lowest fuel so that you commence first.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you bolter, right, everyone on the boat is like monitoring like how much fuel you have to cycle you in, and maybe even hold other people from commencing so that you can get aboard.
Right. Yeah. So like if you are doing case 1 approach and then your fuel state was like dangerously low when you call the ball, and then you boltered, they might interrupt everything at that point to
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
give you a chance, kind of
Yeah,
idea.
for sure. Espresso would do that for
Yeah.
sure. Real world, they'd send you to the tanker, and then
Right. Okay.
the tanker would be there for you to join on you as soon as you boltered.
Right. Okay.
So that's kind of like how the standard procedures help us sort these things out. And Giggs did a good job. Boom, I'm going to spin it. Everyone knows what he's doing. He's going out to initial. He's going to come back in. And then, hey, like, is there anybody in front of me? Whether they're in the bolter pattern, they just waved off. They just launched off the cat for the pattern. And then choose when to break in. So there's like this very choreographed dance where like everyone's doing what they should be doing. And we know what they should be doing. So I know like what I'm supposed to be doing. And everything just works out.
Cool. Okay.
It's chaos.
Yeah.
It's controlled chaos.
I actually just happened to be on that page in that document for the spin pattern. I just realized, so I can kind of visualize it, how it works
Yeah.
quite well.
Yeah. That's the way I have to do it too. There are certain things I just don't understand when it's explained until I see a picture. So, you boltered, right? Or did he wave you off?
He waved me off on the first one.
Okay.
This is something I've noticed that I have to figure out. I try to like line up on the carrier dead on, but because the carrier is moving forward, I always end up on the off to the left.
Right.
So maybe I just need to keep the nose pointed a little bit to the right instead of lining up perfectly. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Okay. We'll watch my HUD and we'll watch yours.
Okay.
So here I am in the downwind. I'm looking for 600 feet. Airspeed doesn't matter, right? Because you're flying trimmed out with your E-bracket. And then, do you know what distance from the boat you're trying to get?
Between 1 and 1.3.
Okay. What I would do is I'd pick one. Pick a distance that you're going to fly every time.
Right. Okay.
Because if you do that, you'll know what base leg you need to fly.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
So just shoot for the same one. So what I did was I screwed up here is I let out the pull too early and I was really wide. So I cut back in, like the reciprocal is like, what is it, like, I think it's 994, whatever. So I turned a little bit too far. I'm like 090 here to get onto a beam distance that I want. And you're using the HSI and the course line to get that a beam distance in the bottom right.
Yeah.
And that's why and that I can fly the same base leg every time and not have to adjust my angle of bank. So get on the heading that I want and now turn back to the BRC and then turn into the base leg. And I'm just flying the angle of bank here, got my descent in, and then now I'm starting to look for the deck. So what you do is you can cheat and look for the landing area, but you're keeping this out to the right. And as you get closer, you're just allowing it to creep in, so that way the boat doesn't sail out in front of you.
Oh, okay.
So
Right.
that
So
the landing area is still over here, and I'm just letting the boat pull itself underneath me.
Hmm.
So you can look at the landing area and definitely do, but if you try and center on it and put the velocity vector on it, you're gonna be left to line up every time.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go. Never done this. This is actually kind of. We're just flying instruments the whole time. So you're a little right of the reciprocal heading, which is fine as long as you're flying the beam distance that you want. So you got a descent in a little early. It's okay as long as you collect it later. So you caught yourself at 500 here. And then are you shooting for this certain angle of bank?
Nope.
Yeah, okay. All right, no worries,
Well,
dude.
sort of. I'm trying to do about that angle of bank,
Okay.
a little less than what I'm doing, but
Yeah.
I'm more at this moment. I'm worried about my altitude, so I'm not even really paying attention to
Oh
that.
yeah, dude. So it's
Yeah.
when we talk about a scan, that's like most of flying is airspeed, altitude, heading, and you're constantly checking those three. Like your eyes are just bouncing around, whether you're working the teapot, the radar, or whatever it is. Like that's just a part of doing the thing, and it's gonna help you here too. So down here, checking this. So you're shooting for like that 27 to 30, and just hold it, and then look, put the velocity vector just below the horizon, and then you should be at like 500 at the 90, which is good, right? You're on the money right there.
Yeah. Even though I kind of messed up a few times, like when this one felt like one of my better lineups on the carrier, but then
It's
I
looking
just
good.
lined up on it right away.
It's looking good, dude. And I saw the plat can. You were looking good. So just hold that angle of banking. You're gonna like overshoot the lineup here just a little bit, but it's fine. Just trust that angle of bank that you set and just fly it. And then you're looking good. Just keep the velocity vector over there. So you bring it over the landing area, and that's why the boat
Mm-hmm.
leaves
Yeah,
you.
too soon.
Yep, you're good, man. You got a good glide slope in. That's money, man. Yeah, you can see you're trying to like catch the ship.
Trying to fix it, yeah.
Dude, that's just one thing you got to work on. That's it. The rest of it looks good, man.
Yeah, I'll keep practicing.
Have you flown the what's it called?
That mission you told
Yeah,
me about?
dude.
Yeah. I've been flying it a lot.
That's money. And then what it reinforces is flying the numbers. If you
Yeah.
fly those numbers every time, I'm gonna be on this like the reciprocal heading. I'm gonna be this distance from the ship, and then I'm gonna enter. You're going to turn in your base leg at the same spot, whatever visual cue you choose, whether it's like seeing the round down or beam the LSO shack, right? You pick that, and that's what you shoot for every time. And so you fly the break to get to that point. And if you can't do that, you just reset yourself.
Mm,
Because there's no point in flying the base leg if you're not going to start it from where you want to be.
right.
So you work on that first part first, the brake turn, popping the gear, the flaps, getting on speed, getting down to 600, got my distance, boom. Now I can work on the base leg. And now I'm just picking my angle of bank, I'm flying that, get my descent rate in, get to the 90 at the altitude you want, and now it's like, now the art comes in. And now you're looking at the ship, flying those same numbers and just trusting it, making a couple changes based off how the boat looks, and then rolling out on the final. And then if you can do that, right, now you work on the groove. But if you have a hard time getting to that spot, start it over.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're like working your way in. And then the last thing that we're all just always constantly working on is the groove. but you want to get to that same spot where you're in the groove, calling the ball consistently.
Okay.
How did it go?
Went well. Went really well. Clancy's a natural,
Nice.
man.
Dude, he flew rock solid the other day doing this stuff.
Yeah,
He flew
yeah.
better than the other guys.
Yeah. We had a lot of weird things happen today too, which is good because it's like it's great to like, oh, okay, this is something weird that's happened and this is why we do this thing.
Yeah.
Like gigs turn it into you. You're kind of an asshole though by just been like, what'd you say, bad idea?
Well, okay, sorry.
Fuck.
Well,
Oh,
I wanted to
man.
know I was there. Wonka left, so there was nobody on my inner flight. So I was like, wonder what these guys are doing. And then I heard, right as I did that, I heard leads in the brake, and I looked left, and I was like, oh no.
Being a dick on the radio, man.
I know.
You
I felt
know,
a little bad.
you should know better. It was
He's
good
done
though,
that
dude.
before too.
Yeah, I think so. We joined on him.
He
in
had a
the
whole, yeah.
So like there was multiple things that was thrown on his plate, so I completely get it.
His,
And we didn't.
his flight did not go smoothly.
Oh, who did he fly with?
He was with SAC, but his game crashed.
Oh,
so then
sucks.
he took off again, right when you guys were kind of getting there.
Yeah.
So then you asked who the single was, and so it was all kinds of all over the place.
Yeah.
So
That's rough.
You know, it was the whole thing.
Yeah, I think we actually joined on him, and his hook was still up.
Yeah, I mean, he never left the CCA, so
yeah.
he probably never thought to drop it.
Yeah, I would make the same mistake because I'm a creature of habit.
Yeah, you don't have that checkpoint you usually do.
Yeah. No, we went out and we did some form stuff. We started with like parade and cruise and worked out to the attack form, but obviously you've already done that, so we crushed it. Then we joined on the tanker. Got gas. Dude, you're a pro.
Yeah, that refueling was the smoothest refueling I ever did, and I've been practicing it a little bit. I don't know what it was, but it just clicked that time.
Yeah,
so like, the other night you said it was like your first time.
Yeah, it was just about. I had tried it a couple times, but I kind of hooked up and then immediately disconnected a couple times.
Thank you. The big thing that's
Saturday.
You practice a lot on Saturday?
I practiced for like, I don't know, half an hour on Saturday, so that helped a lot.
Yeah, I can tell. Like the biggest thing when you're looking at somebody on a tanker is if they're never stable, right? They're always like moving around, chasing where they want to be. But you were stable, and then you'd move, right? Be stable, move, and be stable, and move and be stable. That's the biggest difference between like doing that stuff when it comes easy and like still figuring it out when it's hard.
Yeah.
Make a correction, see what it does, make another correction.
Well, it's the ability to hold yourself in one spot.
Yeah.
Because then if you can do that, right? Okay, I need to come forward a little bit. And then you can do that and hold yourself. And then now you're moving around the tanker as opposed to just like chasing it constantly. That was money. And then we had we got boltered, but then we figured out that. So like all you gotta do now, man, is just keep flying with us and we'll work on the fun stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's good to be getting all these basics down now too.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out, I was thinking about when we were flying, all these things are like those apps that run in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Like form, tanking, the tac form stuff, those are just consistent on every mission. It's like expected to be running. You know, it's like track IR running on your computer right now. Like we're doing DCS, but your computer's running SRS and all those other things in the background, and they're just, you don't devote a lot of attention to them. They're just skills that we've all learned, and then you just bang it out whenever you need them.
Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to getting the practice in.
Yeah, what do you guys want to do Tuesday?
I was thinking we go air to ground and something with like light leads assigning like target sorts on groups. Like what? Like some just target range. I don't care. With like practicing correlating who's bombing what and making an attack run as a section.
Dig it. I dig it.
That's just a concept. You
No,
know.
it's easy. We can do that anywhere, man.
Right.
Let's see. We'll probably be on this map again, I think. All right.
Yeah, I mean, we can even do it with the convoy missions, like, or whatever.
Those
with
ones
planes
that we
on the
can spawn.
airfield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The convoy one's good.
Yeah, anything.
Okay. I'll put something together for Tuesday. You're going to be around?
Okay. I should be.
Okay, perfect.
As long as they don't call me, which they have not, so.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's what I'm trying to do.
Okay. I just got to know like how to react when you can't fly.
Yeah, no, I'm intentionally not trying not to work.
Yeah, I gotcha.
For reasons beyond just being lazy, but that's anyways, it's a complicated airline thing.
Yeah. Yeah, we did a really good job too of getting off the deck, man. Compared to the other guys, like we just crushed it.
What are the Tomcats doing on the catapult?
I don't know.
Does anybody
man.
know?
I heard one guy was like rearming, refueling, which was weird.
Oh.
So like, Express was like, okay, like you just want to wait on Cat 1? He's like, yeah. It's like, jeez, man. And you got like our entire squad on the fantail.
Fucking hell. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, bro.
It seemed like every time they were like sitting there. I don't know if they're waiting for each other or what, but
yeah.
Huh.
I'll put something together for Tuesday. Thanks again for taking the form stuff for today. That was good.
No problem. And it was not just for you, Clancy. The squadron needed that, so.
Yeah, no, it was good to reinforce it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it was fun flying with you, Clancy, and thanks again, Irish.
Yeah,
Yes,
you guys
thanks
have a
very
good
much,
night.
you guys. I will talk to you on Tuesday.
Sweet. Have a good night, guys.
See ya.
Bye.